What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Said It. AshSaidIt.com, AshSaidIt.com, baby babies. Now we on Spotify too. Woo! Over 1,200 episodes and 500,000 streams worldwide. Thank you guys. Thank you. All right, so I've got a question from the Twitter. A question on the Twitter, which I'm fairly confident I've answered at least once before. Online dating. Ash, what are your thoughts on online dating? All right, well, I'm glad that you guys asked online dating. I can say from different aspects, I know people that have met their significant other off of an app. They've gotten married, they've had the babies, they got the white picket fence and the wonderful house, and everything's great. And I've had the ones where people have been stalked and people didn't got issues and things going on with somebody that they met off of an app. Me personally, while I know and I'm totally for people living their best life and doing what they need to do, if they want to do an app, go and do an app. Go and do an app and meet your love bug. Go ahead and find them. Me personally, I don't do the apps. I've had my share of app experiences, and I just don't do apps. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm not against them, but I'm looking for a genuine connection, and there's only been a few times when I've dealt with apps where I thought that I had a genuine connection with somebody, and then he turned out to be crazy or creepy or just a complete pervert. It's been that type of experience for me every time, and these have been different apps. The last one that I did was I had a friend of mine get me a Match.com membership, and I was like, do Match.com, yeah, Match.com, all right, great. And so I was on there, and of course you get the usual suspects, the creeps that are all just on there just for a hookup. I was just looking for a genuine connection, and I think it was like a free month membership or something. And so by maybe towards the end of week 3, I was like, okay, this is really just stupid. It's pointless. And I've not encountered anyone that I would like to entertain. So this guy reaches out to me, and he's respectful. He's mannerable. He is not seemingly on any game type situation. So I was like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm going to entertain this guy. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to chop it up with him for a little bit. And so for maybe 2 weeks or so, we talked through the app, and then he musters up enough courage to ask for my number. And by that time, I felt comfortable enough, and I felt that I had learned enough about his personality and his temperament to where I was comfortable in giving him my real telephone number. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We didn't give him the Google line. We gave him the real number. And so he called me that day, and we talked, and it was just instant. I was like, yes, this is the connection that I've been looking for. I've been searching for this effortless, just connect. Just an instant connection. I have no expectations for anything. I just want to connect with another human being that is attractive. And girls, I'm going to tell you, baby was fine. That man was fine. And I kind of was a little scared because the whole catfish phenomenon had really taken it had taken the forefront, all right? MTV had the show, and, you kind of nervous. You're like, okay, I don't know if this is going to be what it is, but I really hope that he is exactly as fine as he looked in his profile pictures. And he sent me some pictures, and I was like, okay, yeah. Still kind of sketchy because, you could talk to somebody all day, every day, and they could be somebody else. So we're talking, and first red flag. And I ignored these things. Why? Because I was looking for a genuine connection with this guy, and I felt as though I had found it, but there was definitely a little bit more digging to do. Now, the first red flag was he told me that he polishes off a bottle of Jack Daniels every weekend. And I was like, okay. And knowing my family's history with alcoholism and things of that nature, I should have really removed myself from the situation. But I had such a good rapport with him. He wasn't pressuring me for anything. And I just felt comfortable with him. I said, you know what? I'm not going to judge this man. I'm not going to judge him, man. Okay, Paul Shaw, bottle of Jack Daniels a week. You know what? Maybe it was a rough week. Maybe it was every weekend. Maybe it was a rough week. So I let that slide. And so he said that he wanted to meet up with me and he wanted to take me out for ice cream. And so I was like, okay, cool. You know, yeah, we can, we've tried to find a middle point because he was in Sandy Springs at the time and I was in Lawrenceville. And I was like, you know, let's find an in-between spot or whatever. He wanted to do like Cold Stone and there was no Cold Stone like in between where we were. And I was like, there's Brewster's everywhere. Let's just go to Brewster's. And so he was like, well, where is Brewster's? And I directed him to like the closest one for both of us where it would be like, literally like we would both come halfway. And second red flag, he had never been on 285. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with Atlanta highways and how to get in and through the city, 285 is like just a big ass loop. It's a big loop. It goes around the city. It helps us sometimes. And then sometimes we just stuck up on traffic on 285. It just be bad. I'm not going to lie to you. But the fact that he had lived here for over a decade and never drove on 285, like for real, like you just ain't never been on it. He claimed to take side streets everywhere. And I was like, okay, you know what? Again, I'm not going to judge this man. I'm not going to judge him because you know what? I don't know his full story. The same way he don't know my full story, I don't know his full story. And so we met up and it was an instant chemistry. He was finer than what I thought he was going to be, ladies. Oh, he was fine. It was fine. He had the height going off for him. He was about 6'3". I mean, the best way to describe him is he looked like Chris Brown's older brother. If Chris Brown had a fine older brother, brother was 36 at the time. And I think I was like 31 or 32. Either way, I was up in there, but baby was fine. I was like, yes, come through. And so we spent maybe like 2 hours at Brewster's. It was like closing time. He had gotten me ice cream and he got his and we sat and we just chatted up and it was just really nice to have this connection with someone. This really, really cool connection with this person that just seemingly was really, really cool. Another thing that bonded us together was the fact that we had both lost our moms tragically. My mom passed in 2013 and then his mom had passed, I believe I don't remember when it was, but his mom had passed a little bit before that. And so kind of talking with someone who had been in a similar circumstance as me was very comforting because I think that when you're going through certain things in life, it's kind of hard to relate to other people and hard for them to relate to you because they don't understand where you're coming from. So that was a cool point. Now, the tipping point of the scale was we were talking every day. We talked every day, every night, every morning. He would text me. I would text him throughout the day. He would call me as he's on his way to the gym leaving work. And he would call me at night after he got settled or whatever. And one day, so we create this norm, right? We're talking about he had never really traveled Atlanta and hadn't really been anywhere touristy. And he wanted to go to Savannah. So I said, cool, because my mentor is the president of Savannah State. And we could totally go hang out there, all this other good stuff. And one day, one of these days, he had called me and I was out with some friends. It was like during the day or whatever. And I guess it was around the time that he would usually call me as he was headed to the gym. And I picked up and I was at Tin Lizzie's. Y'all know Tin Lizzie's. It's loud. There's music. There's television. There's people. It's chaos. When is there never chaos at Tin Lizzie's? And I picked up, but he could barely hear me. I could barely hear him. And he was like, well, where are you at? And I told him, where I was at and blah, blah, blah. And I could kind of hear in his voice, he had an attitude that I couldn't talk with him right there and then. Like, I wasn't available right there and then for him. So he had a problem with that. I could tell it in his tone. But I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call you as soon as I leave, with my friends and blah, blah, blah. And he was kind of like, yeah, whatever. And then hung up. And so, naturally, just as I said that I would do, after I left my friends, I called him, didn't pick up. And it was weird because usually he would pick up for my calls. And that night, he didn't call me back. The next day, he didn't text. And it was just starting to feel like, this is the Twilight Zone. This is weird. And I texted him. He never fully responded to me. He never responded back to me and just like excommunicated me after that. And that was just really weird because this was somebody that I thought that I had a connection with, but evidently that was not the case. It was not the case at all. But everything happens for a reason. And I'm not anti-dating apps. They just don't work for me. To each his own. Live your life. Live the best life that you can live. But I'm not into dating apps. I don't get down with that stuff. And it just is what it is. It is what it is. And I just let people live their life. That's it. Live your best life. Don't go back and forth with nobody. Just live your best life. That's it. So, yeah, that was crazy. But definitely thankful for the experience. Because I can say, hey, I've had these experiences with dating apps. But anyways, I love you guys so very much. Thank you for the support, the love. All of it makes a difference. Keep in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history, baby. That's what we're doing this for. We're doing this for the history book. Social media is nice, but real life, baby, is so much better. It's way better. I'm going to holler at y'all later.